Prajapati became nun after her husband's death, by which time the Buddha appears to have converted many women. Due to her prestige, her name appears to have been included in the mythologized version. It is also worthy of notice that these contradictions were resolved only over a period of time, and the version in the Chulvag is probably a still later attempt to rationalize and legitimize post facto what had already become the status quo. Beyond simple rationalization, one may also see a recurrent theme that attempts to reconcile the various contradictions. Prajapati Gautami appears to have been chosen because she commanded great respect as a woman to whom the Buddha owed the greatest debt. To make the story look credible, the editors initially show Prajapati as having accepted all the 8 of the restrictive rules readily, but later approaching Anand unsuccessfully to go back to the Buddha to see if he would relent on the first rule regarding seniority. Long-term consequences of such an arrangement turned out to be disastrous for the order of the nuns, where life appears to have become more and more marginalized and finally ceased to play any role in the official accounts of the tradition. By the 3rd century of the Common Era, the Bhikkhuni Sangh in India appears to have virtually disappeared from the official records. It is not surprising that post-Mahaparinirvan Buddhist ethos does not consider women as worthy of sitting in a court of justice, capable of embarking on business, good enough to reach the essence of things, mature enough to be good managers of households, or competent and desirable to be heads of social and political institutions. Now, in this lecture, what I have basically tried to say is that as far as the Buddha himself is concerned, he does not see any difference whatsoever in terms of gender, that is between men and women, in the realization of any of the goals such as enlightenment or nirvana. Whatever men could do spiritually, women could also do. However, after the death of the Buddha, it seems that the androcentric, misogynistic attitude of certain people within the order and the society at large outside the order influenced the overall thinking of Buddhism that women must be controlled and suppressed. So this kind of negative attitude that appears in certain portions of the Pali Tipitaka basically was, most historians agree, was an interpolation. So as far as the Buddha is concerned, his attitude is completely egalitarian towards women. The 8 Guru Dharmas that have been entered into the Vinaya Pitaka appears like interpolation that was made after the death of the Buddha. And so all the references that one comes across in the Pali Tipitaka regarding negative attitude of Buddhism towards women is a sort of afterthought which was interpolated into the Buddhist literature after the death of the Buddha. And along with this, this is also very interesting to see that majority of the monks in the order came from a Brahmanical upper caste background. It is quite possible that such a large majority of monks of Brahmanical background may have also been responsible to a great extent in changing the nature and character of the order, especially after the death of the Buddha. So therefore, this Brahmanical thinking, negative thinking towards women, this kind of androcentric attitude may have come into Buddhism after the death of the Buddha, possibly through this large number of monks of Brahmanical background. Very interesting that, so when you look at the whole of Pali Tipitaka, there are some portions where some very nice things have been said about women. For example, at one place the Buddha says women are literally capable of sacrificing more, loving more, caring more, and of course we know women live longer than men because they have to work harder and they are kind of survivors. So the overall picture that you get in the Pali Tipitaka, on the one hand you have some very nice beautiful statements made about women, that they are capable of doing everything that men can do, and then at some parts of the Tripitaka you see that women are utterly useless. So basically one has to first of all look at the Pali Tipitaka as to which portions belong to the period of the Buddha, and which strata within the Pali Tipitaka are later, and so it is these later portions where the androcentric, misogynistic attitude towards women has crept into the order, and so is reflected in the later portions of the Pali Tipitaka. Thank you.